What's up, y'all? I hope everyone is having a great, beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Are y'all ready for this message that I'm about to give y'all today? So let's go. So let's talk about communication. Why? Because it is so highly and very important. And a lot of us lack the correct, proper communication skills that we need, right? And I say that because a lot of the times, people, we do not know how to communicate in the aspect of listening when it comes to listening. Because we all know how to talk. We all can talk. Whether we try and get a point across or just want to, talk or just want to talk. And then sometimes, you might be having conversations with people and, you can barely get a word in. Why? Because all they want to do is talk. And you be sitting there like, dang, can I talk now? Or in the sense of whether it's relationship, romantic wise, and someone's telling you about say for instance they're telling you about how they feel about something you're doing, you know and it's negative, and a lot of the times you're not really listening to understand, you're listening to defend yourself. So that's lack of good communication, because what that does is you're not ultimately really hearing what the person is telling you about how they feel. You really don't care. All you doing is you waiting to respond so you can defend yourself. And sometimes it might be necessary, but for most of the time it may not be. And when it comes to business, because I want to talk about two different relationships when it comes to communication, and it's also business, because if you are either have a partner or an employee, right, and y'all can't communicate, if you can't communicate with your business partner, what's going to happen to your business? What do you think? How y'all going to thrive? How y'all going to grow? It's not going to happen. Why? Because y'all lack that communication. Y'all, and what you have to understand is that great communication can steer a conversation that will lead to elevation, right? Because communication is either sending or transferring information, right? So either you receiving it from somebody or somebody that's sending it to you. It's an exchange, right? So it's all about what you do with the sending and exchange, and how you receive. How do you give your communication? Because another thing that's important in communication is all about how you talk to someone. It's all about the respect, because you also have to have respect when it comes to communication, right? You can't yell, because a lot of different things can determine an outcome of a conversation. It's your tone, it's what kind of language. If you're cursing, is are you just overall yelling, angry? Like, you have to deliver your message properly too, in order for somebody to receive it properly. So that's key too. So let's talk about a relationship rise. So, and this is big because a lot of times in relationships, we don't listen to understand the other person's feelings. If they're telling you, okay, this is a problem for me, this is wrong, XYZ, I need this to be better, or whatever. A lot of the times what happens is you're not really listening to that. And I've gone through this, where it's like you seem like you're not being heard, because it's like I'm sitting here telling you, what it is, and then it's like it's defensive. It's this, and it's like, no, because I'm gonna tell y'all, and I promise you this. When I say I promise you this, I promise you this. If you don't ever receive what someone is trying to tell you about something you're doing wrong, and you don't ever change that, what's going to happen is that relationship is going to fail. This is why communication is also a big reason why relationships fail, because they lack that communication. People don't know how to talk to each other. It doesn't work. Like a relationship cannot work with the proper communication. Because if I can't tell you something without you getting defensive or without you working on it, because let me tell you, a lot of times you have to think about it, especially if someone is telling you something over and over and over again, right? Like, you have to within yourself think like, maybe what they're saying is correct. Maybe it might be some truth to it. Well, let me work on it. And then if you work on it and then you see that things start to get better, that lets you know, okay, you should start listening more, listening to understand, listening to change, not listening to defend or listening to get mad to where it becomes an argument. Because that's what happens a lot of the times in relationships. You know, whenever information isn't received properly or sent out properly, it becomes an argument. When the person's not listening, everybody just want to talk over talk, cut each other off. No, ultimately your relationship is going to fail. So that is why proper communication is key, because if you have someone who you start to listen to and start to really learn, because you have to understand whatever the person is telling you is wrong, that's their feelings, that's their reality of you and what you've been doing, not yours, it's theirs. So you have to want to change their reality and their outlook on what you're doing. That's what good communication is about. So you see how what you're doing is affecting the other person, and you work to change that so that they are no longer negatively affected by anything that you're doing or saying or whatever it may be. Because once you get to a point in your relationship where y'all can really talk, I promise you your relationship's gonna grow. Y'all gonna become better. Because now y'all can talk. Now you understand me. Now you understand my feelings. Now you hear me for real. Same thing, communication when it comes to business. If you have a partner, let's say, and y'all don't communicate or can't communicate worth nothing. Like, y'all always arguing. This person got their view on something, you got your view on something, but nobody wants to compromise. Yet no one wants to come to a common ground about what y'all should do, how y'all should move forward in the business. So what happens there is, y'all both continue to like, what, I ain't got time for him, he don't like my ideas, but again, y'all aren't really communicating. Everybody want to feel like they're right. Everyone wants their idea to be what it is. And it's like, if you communicate properly in the business aspect and compromise or just come to an agreement in some type of way that can work for the both of you, then that also will help the business itself grow. Because without good communication, how's your business going to grow? How are y'all going to, move forward and make great decisions if y'all can't even communicate well? So what's going to happen there is somebody's going to go their separate way. Well, I'm going to just do this on my own because no one likes what the other one is doing, what the other one is talking about. No. And ultimately, again, the relationship just might not be a good fit. So sometimes that's the case because, you want your business to grow, right? You want it to be successful. So if you in partnership with somebody who ultimately is not there, then in order for the business to grow, you're going to have to fire that person. I don't know, however it may be, you the boss, they the employee, I don't know. But however it may be, you're going to have to find somebody new. Find someone who you can communicate with that's going to help y'all help each other to take the business to where it need to get to. Right? Y'all, great communication, I'm telling you. Like, it's important in so many ways in life. And the last one I feel like it's an even greater one is the conversations you have with yourself. Yeah, I said it. Self-talk. I ain't talking about just crazy talking to yourself, because people feel like when you talk to yourself, that means you're crazy. No, no, not necessarily. You know, a lot of the great successful people, like, they talk to themselves. Talk to themselves how? Y'all have to talk to yourself. Speak life into yourself. Speak positivity into yourself. What do you tell yourself about you? Are you the type of person where you speak negatively over yourself, where you count yourself out, where you feel like you're not equipped for something, where you feel like, you're not fit, that you don't have what it takes, that you're not qualified, whatever it may be? Are you that type of person that talks negatively to yourself? Because what that does is, that is how you're going to show up. And I feel like if you learn to talk to yourself good and hear yourself well and take heed to what you tell yourself, then guess what's going to happen within yourself? You're going to grow. You're going to elevate, because you're not listening to no negativity. You're not speaking no negativity over yourself. You're speaking the positivity, telling yourself how good you are, how great you are, how you can do it, how you have everything. You lack nothing. There's no one like you. Like, just the overall positivity that you're speaking to yourself. Y'all listen, because I have become my biggest motivator. Because for a long time, I was wanting to have other people to help, motivate me to do what I need to do. Why? Because that's important too. But what I realized is that if I want to really be successful in life, if I really want to do things that I need to do, it has to all start with me. Like, how can you really get things done in life depending on someone else? Just think about that. If you always depend on somebody else to get you to where you're trying to be in life, that's not real motivation. That's like that's just like a crutch, if you will. Something to help you because you feel like you can't do it by yourself. So that's like a crutch. No, I had to become what I wanted somebody else to be for me. Why? Because me becoming my biggest motivator is what's going to help me to do stuff without the crutches. And once I get to that point, listen, God will send other people to help also. But listen, at first I got to get, and I had to, and I am at a point where I don't need nobody to motivate Keisha, because Keisha's going to motivate Keisha. Keisha talks life into her all the time. Why? Because that pumps me up. Because I know that with the positivity that I speak, that I talk to myself about, that I just overall tell myself, I believe it, y'all. I know it's true, and can't nobody else tell me otherwise. Nothing negative about me in the sense of, me and what I have going on, where I'm trying to be. Now, I'm not saying that nobody can't tell me nothing about myself that I can improve. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is just the overall speaking life into myself, being positive, that self-talk, the conversations that I have with myself is what helps me helps me build me up and my character up. So that's why I feel like that is the ultimate, most important conversation, is the ones that you have with yourself. Because if you master having great conversation with yourself, you also going to be able to master having great conversations with other people. And be able to listen, because you start listening to yourself, in case and then especially when you speak stuff of yourself and then you see it start to happen. And then you like, I can trust me. Because that trust is important too. I can trust me. So then you go into conversations with other people with the skills, y'all. The skills to be able to listen and trust what another person is saying. Especially if what they're saying is valid in some type of way. So y'all, that's why today I really wanted to get on here and tell y'all, listen, how much and how important communication is. Great communication at that is. Because listen, again, like I said, great communication steers a conversation, which then will lead to elevation, whether it's a romantic relationship, a business relationship, or yourself, y'all. So if you don't practice great communication. Start with anyone, your spouse, your kids, because that's important too. Start learning how to communicate and listen to them more, because sometimes as parents we might feel like, oh, they're kids. Like, no, we a lot of times don't listen to them. Start listening to them too, because again, what they can feel means something too. It's important too. How they feel is important, right? So just start practicing that good communication with people around you, and see how things really flow, right? So again, y'all, hope everyone enjoys their day, and as always, be motivated and stay inspired.